We promised you guys last week that we would do a taste testing video of our apples, so let's get on it. So we're here at the end of June in 2023, and last week we harvested all of our summer apples. Now, you guys here in Arizona know that there are really a handful of apple varieties that do well for us. The 4 that we have growing and you see here in front of us would be the key apples for us here in Arizona. What we want to do today is give you an idea of a taste test of each one of these.
One of the things that we did do is harvest these early this year. They tend to get a little mealy when we leave them on the tree to fully ripen. So we didn't want that this year.
So of course, one of the other reasons why we do it is because of bird pressure. One of the things with apples, when they start to sweeten, especially here in Arizona, like all of our other fruit, it starts to become a challenge with the birds. And so we'd like to pick them early. In the end, we're gonna test it today to see whether or not they sweeten after being on the counter. We have seen that they ripen a little bit, but these are just a little bit on the underripe side, so keep that in mind. All right, so what's the first apple we're gonna try?
So we have the golden dorsett.
This is the apple that we always say is your key apple for us here in Arizona. If you're gonna pick one tree, this is definitely the apple that you're gonna wanna grow. All right, golden dorsett apple looks a lot like a Granny Smith. It even kind of cuts like a Granny Smith apple. I'm gonna try it. Really good. A great crunch to it.
Definitely tart like a Granny Smith also.
Yeah, not mealy at all.
No, that's great.
Golden dorsett apples you actually use for cooking, right?
I do.
Wait a minute, what did you make this morning?
I made an apple pie this morning, and it's probably a combination of the dorsett and the Anna apples.
Which are very similar, we're gonna try that next. But your apple pie, oh my goodness. It is amazing. Now, you didn't use Crisco this time because we don't like using Crisco. The whole trans fat issue, right?
Yep, so for the crust, I used lard that we rendered from our pigs.
It's a good balance, I think, of tart and sweet. So,
Is it?
I think so. It's got some tart to it, no question. But there's still some sweetness to it. Just a really good all-around cooking and fresh eating apple. Okay, next apple up for sample. What do we got?
We got the Anna.
Ooh, the Anna. Now, one of the things about the Anna, it is self-pollinating. It'll produce on its own. We found that to be true. However, it does better, supposedly, at least produces heavier when it's with the golden dorsett. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot. Now again, remember, this is an underripe Anna. When it's fully ripe, we don't like it because it's too mealy. So we do pull these early, but hopefully you get this on camera. You get a reddish blush that will happen on the apple. When these are fully ripe, they're kind of a yellow-green with a red blush, usually on one side, and that's typically the sunny side. We'll get this blush. You can see this one's got just a little bit, so again, just a little underripe. You'll see this is the golden dorsett. It is more kind of narrow, kind of skinny.
Yeah, like long and skinnier.
More of a skinny apple. Yeah, kind of like, I guess a Red Delicious is that way. It's kind of more skinny, right? So it also, shape is slightly different on your Anna. So if you have a tree and you're not sure if you got a golden dorsett or an Anna, could be either one. But usually the dorsett is a little bit wide. It can get a red blush, but it's really rare. Very, very common for the Anna to get a red blush. Nice and crisp. It's really good. Good crunch. Not mealy at all. Nice and juicy. It is a little tart.
It's tart.
Yeah, I'm guessing that these probably just, well, we know already there was no red blush and no yellowing.
Yeah.
So picking this early, they have pretty much the same flavor. Oh, wait, by the way, Eric, I know you had asked us about ripening on the counter. We picked these last week. They were on the counter for 3 or 4 days, and then we put them in the fridge. We didn't get any mealiness at all. Whether or not it ripened them more, I can't say. We didn't try them last weekend, but they do still taste really good.
Yeah.
So a week later, they're very, very good. One of the things about the Anna is it has a tendency to not produce as heavy from year to year, whereas the Golden Dorset is very consistent. So again, back to, if you're gonna pick between the two, the Golden Dorset is your best option. Good though. Next apple up for sample
The
is
Tropic Sweet.
Yes. Now this, we get them all from Reed at Our Site Growers. One of the things about the Tropic Sweet, it can be hard to find. However, he does have them. Also, the Tropic Sweet does need the Anna as a cross-pollinator. So if you're gonna get the Tropic Sweet, your best bet, make sure you have an Anna on the property as a cross-pollinator. Reed will sometimes graft the Anna onto the Tropic Sweet so it has the pollinator, but again, 2 separate trees if you have the space.
One of the things with this apple, since we picked it so early, it normally does get more of a red blush as well on it when it's fully ripe.
Yeah, and this one I think it actually gets a lot more red. So, I mean, it's more of a yellow-red color and a lot sweeter, obviously, once it's fully ripe, but like the other 2 varieties, it does get a bit mealy. So we like to pick them early. This is probably a bit too early. This probably could have been another week, but we needed to clear the trees.
Yeah.
Right? It's weird to cut at this angle.
I can imagine. It looks awkward.
We have not picked them this early before, so I'm real curious to see how this one tastes. Really good.
It's much sweeter than the other 2. Little tart in there, but even under ripe, it's actually really good.
And the fruit size, I didn't get a good shot of that, but these fruit are they're also bigger. So you get a big Golden Dorset, and these were good size. You get a big Golden Dorset, it's not as big as the Tropic Sweets. They're very, very round.
Yeah.
Beautiful fruit. Oh my.
We have to always pick these early because I don't like eating mealy apples.
They're good for wine and cider because they're sweeter. But hey, you can just add sugar, makes them sweet. So I won't say this is as good as, say, a Gala. Definitely not a Honeycrisp. Honeycrisp is a lot sweeter. This is your apple if you want a sweet apple. Okay, last apple up for sample today is
The Einsheimer.
Einsheimer. E-I-N-S-H-E-M-E-R. That's what it is. Who did we get this from? Do you remember? We bought 3 of them. I don't remember where we got them. This is a Dave Wilson tree though. It's not from Reed at Our Site Growers. I would guess that the fruit quality, the tree growth would probably be a little better, but these are growing really well for us. They're still nice big trees. You'll see as far as size, it's the smallest of all of the fruit sizes that we have on our trees. Now, when I was choosing the apples to do for this video, I was choosing the largest and the best looking of all the apples that we were harvesting. We harvested a few dozen of these off the 3 trees that we have. This was the largest one. Probably about the size of a billiard ball, maybe not even quite there. So a lot smaller as far as the fruit size is concerned. So now when these fruit are completely ripe, they do get quite yellow. So it's very, very yellow fruit. So these are quite a bit underripe. Let's see how they do. Oh, very tart. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh. I'm gonna put this in your stack. I don't like that apple.
Well, to be fair, you can't say you don't like this apple. It's way underripe.
Okay, I can say that I don't like this apple.
Well, this one.
Man, that is definitely underripe.
Yeah.
You can tell by the consistency. Okay, to be fair, it's a little, I don't know the right word for it, but when you have an underripe apple, it's kind of hard or
you don't
chewy.
have that crisp.
No, it's not crisp at all. It's not mealy, but it's almost kind of chewy. This one has that consistency to it. But you can already tell that it's not going to be any better than any of the other fruit. And it's a smaller fruit size. So I'm not sure that this is one that I would suggest people go with. Something tells me that this is going to wind up being a cider or wine apple for us. Actually, the pigs love them.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Hey, if you want to have pig feed or chicken feed, grow a 9-shemer. That's probably not fair. If you really like tart apples, that's this one.
Yeah.
So that's definitely tart. You can tell even when it does get a little more, not to the mealy stage, but when it does get to the fully ripe, like these are ripe, that one's still going to be quite a bit tart versus the other ones. As far as the 4 varieties, which one is your bottom? Shemer. That was an easy choice. So, but these other 3, I'm going to say these are really kind of your 3 go-tos, and Reed has all these, which we always highly suggest Reed. Not because the other trees won't grow. We have trees here that are not on his rootstock, but we've just found that his rootstock performs much, much better for us, especially here in the Phoenix area and surrounding areas. So we have the golden dorsett, right? Beautiful fruit. I think it's a good balance of tart and sweet. Very much like a Granny Smith, although I don't know that it's quite as tart as a Granny Smith.
No.
So I would say the Anna
was
more tart.
Yeah.
So this is probably a lot more like a Granny Smith.
Yeah.
A little more sweet in the Dorset, at least for this year. A little more tart in the Anna, and then the Tropic Sweet.
Yeah, which was the best one?
This one's the best one by far. So this is my first choice. My second is the Dorset, and my third is the Anna.
Yeah, I agree.
And my 4th, 5th, 6th, and last is the shemer.
Now that is, the apples that we have also being underripe. So.
Right. And that's just my opinion, and you know what they say about opinions.
He always has one.
Oh yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. You guys have asked us for taste testing, and this is the first time we've had all 4 of these varieties for us ready here in Arizona. Definitely early on that, so just keep that in mind. If you let these things go another week or 2, you're gonna get a sweeter apple, probably a little bit on the mealy side, but if you're looking for a sweet apple and you can protect them from the birds, give these another week or 2. If not, put them on the counter for a few days. I think you're gonna get a little bit of ripening, probably a little bit more sweetness, and hopefully not get that mealiness, because that's definitely not where we want to be.
No.
So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this newly established functioning farm here in the Arizona desert, and would love to see you on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go in the
comment section down below.
Yes. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That is a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today, and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
so can you.
Let's feed this to the pigs. I'm gonna take this one. Is that scary?
It didn't until you paused.
So the seeds, you can see the seeds are really
I don't know if that.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that or not, but the seeds are really immature on these apples.
I always want to say never mind.
I'm shining.
Eyeshiner.
You got an eye shiner? I mean, you got punched in the face. I'm gonna get out of the way. I feel like Mike Myers when I'm here with this.
Wow.
Yeah. That's not gonna focus. Let me take the focus from you. Nope, went onto my face. I can't do it.
No.
Ooh.
I was trying to push it over to the.
I was hoping you're coming over to see me.
Sorry.